Yo, it's Mac with the Redbird Red Zone podcast. Back again, talk everything Arizona Cardinals fantasy football related. Thank you for joining me. For week three, the Cardinals are going up against the Los Angeles Rams. You're going to want to have Kyler Murray in your starting lineup against the Rams defense that has given up multiple touchdowns in back to back weeks to start the season. Kyler Murray is also going up against a defense that is going to be missing their cornerbacks 2 through 4. So behind Jalen Ramsey, it's very questionable. So that's where we're going to jump right into with Hollywood Brown and Greg Dortch. Hollywood Brown's leading the Cardinals with a 20% target share rate right now. Zach Ertz is 18% under him. Greg Dortch is second from the wide receiver core with 15%. Greg Dortch is right now, he's leading the Cardinals in receiving yards, and his receptions per target, his percentage is at 85%. So he's catching the balls thrown his way. A little shockingly, I guess, Hollywood Brown's down under 60% to start the season catch rate, but he's receiving a bulk of the targets. He received 11 last week, which tied for the team high with Zach Ertz. So going up against Jalen Ramsey, Hollywood hasn't done much so far today, up to this point in time right now, but you're going to want to probably have him in your flex. Jalen's been struggling a little bit with speedy receivers. So that's where Hollywood comes in, and we've seen some clips rewatching the game. Hollywood has had those chances downfield. He's averaging 11 yards per catch. So when he gets the ball in his hands, he's doing decently. So with that target share, he's getting almost double-digit targets every game. You're going to want to get him out there, and hopefully that catch rate goes up. As for Greg Dortch, if you're short on wide receivers right now and he's floating around on your waiver wire, you're going to want to swoop him up and throw him in at flex. Going up against a depleted Rams secondary, Greg Dortch is coming off his first career touchdown game. So you're going to want to ride him as much as you can, especially with Rondell Moore out right now. I know I had someone on Twitter ask me, would you start Greg Dortch or Devin Singletary? Well, Greg Dortch has more catches than Singletary has rushing attempts for the Bills this year. And right now, Greg Dortch is playing about 80% of the snaps. So with Rondell Moore out, and it looks like he's going to be out for, Cliff Kingsbury said, possibly next week as well. You're going to want to ride him if you need a wide receiver out there. He's getting the targets, he's getting the looks, and he's coming down with the catches. So hopefully more good things are on the way. James Conner right now, they have him listed as game time decision, but he's been on the practice field each last 2 days. And I think he's going to go Sunday. He's the only running back I would run with from the Cardinals backfield. He scored multiple touchdowns twice against the Rams in the regular season. And then he's also scored touchdowns in 12 of the 17 games that he's been with the Cardinals in the regular season so far, with 6 of those being multiple scoring weeks. So you're going to want James Conner out there. He might not be, 150 yards, but he's no slouch in the pass game too. He's getting his targets and receptions, averaging like 35 yards a game so far, and he got hurt last game. So you're going to want to get him out there if he's healthy enough to play. As for Benjamin and Darrell Williams, welcome to the scene again, Darrell Williams. Thank you for joining us. Darrell Williams looks to be the clear-cut backup to James Conner. He didn't play at all offensively in week 1, but week 2, we saw him get 40% of the snaps. Benjamin was at 42%. So really, Benjamin is RB2. He played 34% of the snaps, 36% of the snaps week 1. And so with James Conner out, you almost would expect, to have a bigger role. He didn't. It went up a little bit, but it was Darrell Williams getting the bulk of the carries. When James Conner went out, he scored a touchdown. But I would stay away from that timeshare if Conner is out. Zach Ertz, he's second on the team in target share right now. But you're going to want to, and that's him being very limited week 1 with only 4 targets. So you're going to want to get him back out there against a decent Rams team against the tight ends. As for kicker, you're going to want to bench Matt Prater. I don't need to tell you that. Drop him. Cardinals defense, there might be some weeks where they do get a chance to be streaming option. This is not the week. Even though Stafford hasn't looked the greatest, I would still stay away from the Cardinals defense. It's kind of in flux right now. As for the IDP, I know our number one guy that we've been kind of talking about is Jalen Thompson. He led the Cardinals with solo tackles last week again. He dropped a interception. It was nice to have J.J. Watt back if you have him in a defensive line position like I do. You're going to want to run him back out there. He had a pass defense. He had a sack and a couple other tackles, tackle for loss. So you're going to still want to get him out there. Zaven Collins has looked all right, 5 tackles, solo tackles last game. So just keep an eye on him. Zaven also had a forced fumble, so that would help if you did start him last week. Isaiah Simmons, his playing time went way down, so keep an eye on Isaiah, though. You probably still have him, and you're probably not going to bench an IDP guy, so keep running him out there. So this is Mac with the Redbird Red Zone podcast, all Arizona Cardinals. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back again for week 4.